nutrition counseling session.
Okay.
So you can role play or for yourself.
Okay.
Is it on?
It's recording.
Okay. All right. Hi, Holly. My name is Allison.
Hi, nice to meet you,
Nice
Holly.
to meet you too. I'm going to be your peer nutrition educator today. Have you ever seen either a peer nutrition educator or a dietitian?
No.
No? Okay.
Fun fact though, I did want to become a dietitian at one point, so I
Oh.
did self-research before, so kind of.
That's exciting. So you're not a dietetic student?
No.
Okay.
But I just,
Bio. Have you taken microbiome?
yeah, taking that one.
That's my favorite bio class. Okay, well, since you've never done anything like this before, I just want to give you a brief summary of what we're doing today. So we're going to be talking about your nutrition and your eating habits, and we'll do a 24-hour food recall, which during that time, feel free to use any of these food models.
Okay.
And then we'll be coming up with a SMART goal. And SMART goal will be something related to either eating on a budget, reading a nutrition label, or eating a more balanced diet. So do any of those topics sound interesting to you?
Probably on a budget.
Eating on a budget? Okay, so we're not going to talk about that right now, but we'll
Okay.
get back to it when we're making your goal. And before we start talking about your nutrition and everything, we do have this informed consent. And basically what it's saying is everything we talk about in our session today is confidential. Dr. George will be the only one looking at our video. And then in class, I might be discussing our session, but your name will be protected. Yeah, so take a minute and you can read it over, and if you agree, you can just sign the bottom.
Does it have to be in pen or pencil?
Pencil is fine. If you want to do it in pen, you can.
And then I think these are.
Yeah, I'll put that up. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to start off just by me asking you some broader questions about yourself, and then we'll get into more of the nutrition.
Okay.
And if you have questions at any point in time, just stop me and ask me anything.
Okay.
So first of all, what year are you at SF State?
4.5.
4.5? Are you graduating this year?
Yes.
That's
I like
exciting.
to make it known that I won't be a fifth year.
That's okay. I've been in school for many years.
Yeah.
I get it. Do you live on or off campus?
Off.
Off campus? How long is your commute to school?
Roughly about 10 minutes.
Oh, is that walking or driving?
Drive.
Okay, that's still really
Yeah, so
nice.
relatively
Okay, so now I'm kind of getting into your eating habits. Monday through Friday, how often do you buy your meals out?
Probably, I usually go out for lunch and dinner sometimes, so I would
Okay.
only eat breakfast at home. But it also depends on if I have studying materials. I don't know. I would say, is it averaging?
Yeah, just on average.
I would say 4 times.
4 times you're buying your meals out.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And you said it kind of depends on if you're studying.
Mhm.
So when you're studying, are you typically eating your meals out or
Yeah.
are you okay?
Because I don't really go home. Because once I go home, I don't study.
Yeah. Do you study at the library here?
Yeah, or at cafes. So
At cafes.
when I get hungry, I just buy food there.
Okay. And then what about on the weekends, so on Saturday and Sunday, how often are you buying your meals out?
Not as often, maybe like once
Once.
every 2 weeks.
Okay. So once every 2 weeks, you're buying meals out on Saturday or Sunday. And then what about snacks? How often are you buying snacks during the week, Monday through Sunday?
I don't really snack as often. If I do, I usually tend to bring it from home.
Okay.
So it's more of like fruits than junk food. But occasionally I do. So maybe like once every 2 weeks.
Okay. So most of your snacks are fruit, is that
Yeah.
what you're saying? Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna kind of total up your answers. Green beans falling. Okay, so now we're gonna be doing your 24-hour food recall. So this is gonna be talking about the food you ate yesterday. So first we're gonna go through just like a general list of what you ate, then we'll go back in and add the details.
Okay.
So what was the first time you ate yesterday?
Like time is in like what hour?
Yeah.
Let's say 11 in the morning.
11?
Yeah.
Okay. And what did you have at this
I
meal?
have like a small bowl of noodles.
Noodles? Okay. Anything else? Anything to drink?
Just water.
Just water. And then what time was your next meal?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock? And what did you have during this meal?
Sushi.
Sushi.
Yeah.
I just started eating sushi.
It's so good.
It is. Anything to drink?
I had herbal tea, green tea, and then water.
Any other like appetizers or anything?
Edamame.
Edamame. Okay. Anything else? Okay. And then did you have another meal yesterday?
I had a snack, plum.
Plum.
Yeah.
What time was that at?
I would say 6.
6 p.m. Anything after that?
Dinner at 8 o'clock actually.
8 o'clock. And what did you have for dinner?
It was like a mixture of all, cause like it was at a restaurant, so we had
Okay.
like a mixture of food, and we just like took small bites of everything. So did I say everything I ate, or just?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you could remember.
Well, I had tofu.
Okay.
I had it's like a vegetable. It's called, I think it's pea sprouts. I don't know how to say it in English. It's like,
You can, if you don't know the word, you can just like describe the different,
it's kind of like
ingredients in it.
spinach.
Okay.
So it's like a vegetable. So it's like a
Oh.
sauteed spinach, but it's not actually. It's like from the spinach family. It's like more of like a sprout thing. So
Okay.
it's still like a vegetable still. And then I had chicken.
Okay.
Pork. And then red bean for dessert.
Red beans.
Yeah.
Anything to drink?
Tea.
Tea?
Tea and hot water.
Tea and hot water. And then anything else? Okay. So now we're gonna go through and add in the details. So, you said your first meal was noodles with a glass of water. What type of noodles?
It was kind of like udon noodles.
Udon?
Yeah.
And then feel free to use these food products. You can imagine anything is any type of food. And about like how much did you have?
I would say about this much.
Okay.
But like maybe a little bit less than this, so I think it's like about half a cup.
Half of a cup.
Yeah.
Okay. And was that the size after it was cooked, or
Yeah.
okay? And did you add any sauce or seasoning or anything?
There was just broth, like chicken broth.
Chicken broth.
It had seaweed, broccoli, and an egg.
Okay.
Oh, seasoning. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Was
it's-
there seasonings?
It was pre-made already. Like
Okay.
the broth already was pre-made.
Oh,
So I
okay.
wasn't for sure if it had any seasoning in it.
Were you making this at home?
No, it was already taken out, so I just heated it up. So it was like
Okay.
from a restaurant from previous night.
Oh, okay. What restaurant?
I'm assuming Go Sushi just 'cause
Okay.
my boyfriend got it for me.
Makes sense. Okay, any other detail you'd like to add?
No.
Okay. And then just water, just plain water.
Yeah, it's just hot water.
And then you said you had sushi. What type of sushi did you have?
So I had 4 rolls of Lion King. I mean, not 4, like 4 sushi pieces.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
4 of that, and then I had like another 4 of like kind of super California roll,
Okay.
and then that's it.
Okay, we're gonna get really into the detail of this. So
Okay.
you said the first roll was called the Lion King.
Yeah.
What was in that roll?
So there's like masago, which is like fish eggs on top.
Okay.
Then there's salmon. They drizzle like spicy mayo and a little teriyaki sauce on it.
Okay.
Do you want to know like the insides of it as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's this cucumbers, avocado. Wait, no, sorry, no avocado. I think imitation crab.
Okay. And then in the Super California roll.
That one had avocado on top, cucumber, imitation crab, and then shrimp tempura.
And how big would you say each piece was? If you can use these or your hands.
I would say it's like about. It's like tiny. It was like this big.
Okay, that's
So
kinda
about like a ping pong, yeah.
Okay. And then you had green tea. Did you add anything to the tea?
No. Well, it was an Earl Grey tea from Starbucks, so it was like a venti.
Okay.
But there was nothing added to it.
No, like sugar or milk or, okay. And then you had edamame. Was there any toppings on it or
No.
dipping sauces? How big of a portion? would
The
you say
pea,
that?
it was like a pea size, and I ate about 4 of those.
Okay.
So like this big, and then each pea has 2
Oh.
to 3 little peas in a
Little
pod,
edamames.
little pods.
Okay. And then you said you had water, just plain water.
Mhm.
And then you had a plum. How big of a plum would you say it was?
I would say half a tennis ball. It was
Half a
kinda
tennis
small,
ball?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so for your last meal, I guess you were eating out, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had tofu. About how big was the serving size of tofu?
It was just a small square. I would say about this big. I only have one of
Okay.
this.
Maybe like, first thing that comes to mind when you use the bread or
Okay. Oh, actually,
like half as sticky?
yeah, it'll be like half of this.
Okay. Was anything on it?
I'm pretty sure they sauteed it in some sauce, but I wasn't really sure.
Okay.
And definitely oil.
And then for the veggie that was,
I would,
Synergy
to my
stuff.
guess, I would put oil, salt, garlic, and maybe like, I'm sure it has some MSG in it.
okay.
for tasting, and then that's about it.
And then what about the amount?
For vegetable, I would say about
There's some
I also had
vegetables.
green string beans. I just remembered.
Oh, string beans.
Yeah. I would say about a third of a cup.
A third of a cup, so
Yeah.
this size?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then what about the string beans?
I would say half a
It's
cup.
like-
I eat a lot of that.
Half a cup, okay. And were those dressed similarly to the other veggie, or was there another sauce?
I think it's like in a garlic black bean sauce.
Okay. And then for the chicken, about how much chicken did you have? Like a big piece of meat.
Well, they were like cut into like sizes.
Oh, I see.
Like you know how like there's whole chickens and then they chop it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I were to take out the bone and everything, I would about say half a cup.
Half a cup?
Yeah, because it's hard to measure it because like when they cut it up into pieces, it's like mainly bones and stuff, so you gotta like, take it out.
Yeah, so if you were like to fill up.
Yeah, like fill it up with just chicken itself. I would say half a cup.
Okay. And how is this seasoned?
It was kind of plain, but it was just like a dipping sauce that was added to it. It had oil, ginger, cilantro, and I don't know what they use to make it taste flavorful. But that's about all I know.
Okay. And then what about the pork?
That was like a sweet and sour pork. I only had one piece, and it was kind of small, so I would say like a quarter cup, or like a size of this. Yeah, it's not the same.
So just kind of like a couple bites.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a really small thing.
You said it was sweet and sour.
Mhm.
And then for the red bean dessert.
It was a bowl. It was about this big.
Okay. And was this
It's like
pureed or?
it had like whole red beans and like sago in it, but then it's more like I don't know how to describe it. It's like a coconut. Have you had like coconut sago kind of thing?
I haven't. No.
What about like? It's like a soup, but made for
Okay.
dessert.
Okay. Okay. So there was coconut in it, red bean.
I think sugar for sure.
Okay.
Like sugar. I think that's it. That's what I usually do.
Okay.
But I don't know how they make it.
So you make it yourself sometimes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. And then the tea, did you add anything
No.
to the tea? And what about the water? Okay. Oh, and then what type of tea was it?
I would kind of say it's like a Lipton tea.
Like a black tea.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go over really briefly everything you told me, and if you want to make any changes or you forgot something,
I
just
forgot
let me
to add
know.
rice.
Rice
At the end, yeah. It was
at dinner.
for a bowl. I would say like a cup.
A cup? Okay. And what type of rice was this?
It was just white rice.
Rice. Okay. So your first meal was at 11, and you had udon noodles and hot water, and the noodles were leftovers from the night before. And then at 4, you had sushi, the Lion King roll, and Super California roll. Edamame, and then tea and water. For your snack, you had a plum, about the size of half a tennis ball. And then your last meal, you ate out, and you had tofu, the sauteed green beans, and the other vegetable, and like oil and salt.
Yeah.
And then you had small portions of chicken and pork. And for dessert, you had the red bean, Oh, you also had rice.
Mhm.
And then you drank hot water and a Lipton tea. Anything else? Okay. Well, thank you for sharing all of that with me and going through your dinner. I know it can get a little complex. Just the last question I have about what you ate yesterday is, in terms of amount, would you say it was a pretty typical day? Or was it more or less than what you usually eat?
The breakfast and lunch would be like typical, but the dinner was a little bit on the heavier side because I usually don't eat as much.
Okay. Do you find that when you're eating out, sometimes you'll eat more than when you're eating at home?
Yeah, just because grandparents force you to eat.
Oh, you're with your grandparents?
Yeah, also family members.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. So now I want to talk a little bit about the SMART goal we're going to create. Do you know what a SMART goal is?
Something you work towards and like the little steps to help make improvement in your diet or something.
Yeah, and it stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So kind of what you said, like, it helps you make smaller SMART goals, little steps to help you get to a more bigger, broader goal. And SMART goals are really great because they're successful, or they can help you be successful to making lifestyle changes. But they're most successful when you understand like how motivated you are to meeting them. So we have a ruler. It's not in here. So it was supposed to be in the folder. Or I can just not use it. So just on a scale of like 0 to 10, 0 being like you're not motivated to make a change, and we talked about, or you expressed you wanted to learn more about eating on a budget. So on a scale of 0 to 10, like how confident would you say you are in making a SMART goal pertaining to eating on a budget?
I would say an 8.
An 8? Okay, that's great. So you do sound really motivated. Was there anything in particular you would like me to educate you on about eating on a budget?
Probably like buying healthy food that aren't so costly.
That aren't so costly?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it alright if I provide you some education about that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So we have this handout. And it definitely can give you some tips on how to buy items that aren't as costly. And one of the things you can do when you're shopping is comparing, like say you're gonna buy green beans, you can compare the fresh to the frozen to the canned, because they all provide the same, overall nutrients, but one may be cheaper than the other due to the way it's packaged. And you can usually apply this to produce or meat. Another thing you can do when you're shopping is buying in bulk. Like say you wanted to buy rice, instead of getting pre-packaged, you can go to the bulk section. And sometimes it will be cheaper that way also. And you can also save money by planning your meals in advance. So if you go to the grocery store, they could be having a sale on certain foods, and you can purchase those foods and then plan your meals out for the week based on those. Do you have anything else? Like, do you like those? Do you feel like any of those tips could help you, or are you looking for
Yeah.
additional information?
No, I feel like it could help, but it's just like putting in the work myself.
Yeah.
It's like more difficult for me because I do want to like make a change because my bank account too
Yeah.
plays into a role. Like eating out a lot plays a role into like money, like health and all that stuff. So like the better option would be to like go home, buy groceries and stuff. But I get lazy.
I totally understand that, and you're a busy college student.
Yeah.
We talked about, like comparing the prices of, fresh
Yeah.
and canned compared to frozen or bulk versus prepackaged. Do you think, or is there any one of those that you would want to do to try to eat more on a budget?
I usually buy more of the fresher side,
On the
but the
fresh
only
side?
downside of that is like if I don't eat it in a timely manner, it usually goes to waste.
Mm-hmm.
But then my parents always say like buying canned isn't always as good just because like there could be additives to it aside
Yeah.
from like just water or like just being in the can itself could be not as beneficial as fresh food, I guess.
Right.
So.
There always is frozen, or you could also buy your fresh produce, and then some vegetables like can freeze well if you buy it and put it in your freezer, because then you know it's fresh.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't recommend that for red bell peppers though, because they
Uh-huh.
always taste really bad when you do that.
But the nutrient stays the same.
Yeah, the nutrients is pretty much the same between fresh and frozen. I can't speak to 100%, but typically the nutrients stay the same.
But how do they make it the same though? Like do they just, is it processed to have the nutrients stored for longer periods or?
I don't think it's processed. I think it's really just frozen, but I can't speak on exactly how it's done. But if you do want to continue just purchasing the fresh produce, you could always look for produce that is on sale, or there's certain food, I don't know, do you typically buy organic?
I try to.
Okay, because there's some fruits and vegetables you don't necessarily need to buy organic, that you could purchase non-organic and
Yeah.
save a little bit.
So what's the difference between like organic and non-organic when it comes to like health benefits? Like why are like organics more expensive if they have the same nutrients?
I'm not really qualified to
Okay.
answer that question, but usually what I know, organic tends to be like preservative free and no pesticides, but there are some fruits and vegetables like bananas or ones that have like a thicker coating that you don't eat are generally safer to buy non-organic. So can you think of any fruits or vegetables that you buy that have a tougher or like a thicker skin that you buy organic that maybe you could purchase non-organic?
That I eat?
Yeah, that
Probably
you
would be
eat.
just bananas.
Bananas?
Bananas. Oranges.
Yeah. And you typically buy those organic?
Sometimes we don't, just because like we go to the farmer's market and usually a lot of the stuff are like organic, they just don't have that label.
Right.
So sometimes it really depends, and it also depends what my mom buys, because I don't usually always buy.
Do the shopping?
Yeah, since I live at home.
Okay. Well, based on what we talked about, do you feel like next time you're gonna go do the shopping, you may buy the non-organic oranges and bananas to save a little bit of money?
Most likely.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's a goal, like a SMART goal we can
Yes,
create?
definitely. Because
Okay.
sometimes I get tricked by the labels.
labels can be really tricky, and sometimes they're like verified by other organizations or
Yeah,
not.
and I
It's
always
really
think
hard.
like the high or like the more expensive brand is usually the more health or not. I wouldn't say healthier, but like a better quality brand. So I tend to buy like the more expensive stuff, but I feel like it's kind of misleading at the same time.